Alright, everyone, welcome back. So this is actually gonna be my first recap of my first trading week, essentially, and actually it started off bad and finished okay. We actually finished about plus $40 on the week, but the way we got there was actually super atrocious. So we started off with a few losses, trying to go short overnight. I took this short setup here as it made a swing into London Kill Zone open, which truthfully wasn't that bad in all honesty. Had a essentially break a structure after ripping buy side pre London Kills, and so as it was opening and ripped right into that, I took that short, kind of in this screenshot right here. This is what actually I screenshotted as the candle was printing at about 2 a.m. So I took this short, but my broker apparently decided it's not going to trade the indices right now, so I was instantly filled about 14 points of slippage, which is insane when the Hanko's usually like maybe 3 to 4 points. So I was immediately underwater off the get go. So I was already upset. And I didn't partial underneath this low. And truthfully, as I kept watching it, it ended up switching to a long setup. Given we went short here, made it down to this low, and then just looking at the PD array, get a nice either OTE or you can take that with the FVG, either one, and then just delivers to this high. And by this point, I was still holding on to the long, or to the short, I mean. So I really was just refusing to cut the loser, even though I was technically right on that initial move, but wrong overall. I just kept holding on to it, so that really didn't help. And then going into Wednesday was the jobs report, and this was on GU actually, because the last time I took it I was cursed. So coming into the third, same kind of thing. We had a nice liquidity grab up here with buy side being taken, displacement down, gives a fair value gap, as well as going into about 10 o'clock you have this internal buy side to hit, so you can almost go inducement model on it. And I ended up taking it short right before here, and then I took some profits down here. And that was really it though, because it kind of retraced and then ended up exiting. Where I really messed up though, honestly, was I flip-flopped. So because it broke short and wasn't going down like I was expecting, like the last report did, and was flipping towards the long, I closed the short, I went long, and then realized, okay, this long is actually a bad idea. So I went short back again, and I held through this, and I was in the middle of teaching my friend, and I ended up paper handing as this low was kind of holding. So I missed a lot of the move because really just I had to keep holding it. And by this point, again, I already had buy side being completely manipulated and for value gap down. So there was like a PD array to go bearish on, but I just let go of it anyway. So I did miss out a lot on that just because of how far it moved. Came New York. Like I woke up and I was like, whoa, this actually moved a lot. So rest in peace to that. So definitely going to be making sure if I do hold through something like that and I get the breakdown, just keep holding it. But really, I just wanted to have the actual jobs report itself move, which I was right on, so that was good enough for me. Thursday, literally slept, no point in trading. If you did trade Thursday, you're kind of a psycho, but it did work, in all honesty. You had a really nice short setup, but you end up having like really, really sideways moves. Like the reason to even avoid Thursdays is, yeah, New York, even ICT posts himself trading New York because of the news that it had with ADP, NFP, but pretty much your trading was going to be done come New York Open. Because if you look at the actual RTH, which was, here to here, pretty much traded sideways in about 100-point range. So if you're taking anything theta related wise, you're getting fried unless you hit like the Bernard move, which apparently wasn't even on the calendar. So that was more of a shocker. But I was long sleeping and wasn't concerned about it. But going into NFP itself, I was truthfully bullish. I was telling some people in here. So this was kind of my idea in the very beginning of the week from the 4th. Collect the sell side and then deliver to the buy side later in the week. And this was before jobs report even released, that I was telling job report go short, but it never did. But I was essentially saying for NFP to be bullish. And the main reason for that was actually on GU itself. I really messed up with the play because I was taking it long, essentially too early, because my thought process was, well, it's going to go up no matter what, so just get in now. But truthfully, I had a buy limit that was sitting under here, and it just never. It was actually going to fill itself, but I just ended up pulling it because I took a couple losses prior to GU just trying to melt down when I should have just kept that initial buy limit that I had, and it would have got filled under 187, and then it would have moved up. Because I actually ended up oversleeping NFP, so I woke up at like 8:35. So I already missed the initial move. But yeah, story for that is just demand the price. Like it was pretty eye-opening with like what it had set up. It had equal lows on the 15-minute from all the way back here. If you look on like the hourly, you can kind of see it. It had made an equal low in the middle of the week during Tuesday. So once that gets ran, like okay, this is definitely a liquidity offering for sell side. So where can you take the sell side? And then even more so, it gets dipped through again. So it just looks really just like a clean buy model at that point in the reversal, especially before NFP. You have all this to run for, and that was what I was expecting for the week. So yay to that, but the actual trading of NFP, because I woke up late, I really I ended up hopping in too early. I got in at about 8:40. So 8:30 I got in, sat in some drawdown. I got margin called on it because I was getting in over here, and I just wanted to get in too early. That was really just my mistake. Because New York opened up and it moved higher, which New York definitely, especially the open for stocks, is going to want to make some kind of move lower to stop those people out that trade that only. So I was just in too early. I get margin called, and then I rebought, and I just pyramided it back up and sold it like towards the end of around 11 a.m. or so, near that peak, towards the end of New York AM session. So really, the actual executions I had and ideas were pretty good, especially idea-wise, just where everything ended up. But it was really just two mistakes that ended up screwing me and just showing a really, really bad curve. So, and that was just the flip-flopping in the beginning of the week and holding on to what I recognized was a short that was going to go long, and just recognizing that if you're given, for example, bullish PD arrays and you're actually bullish, those two are going to intertwine, and that's what you're going to get delivered, as opposed to trying to spot the top or anything like that. Yeah, definitely flip-flopping that, and then trying to like front run NFP almost, just trying to hit it, when really all I had to do was just keep the initial buy limit there, and I would have been set. That's all I had to do. So definitely just trusting that and try to play more turtle soup entries as opposed to anything else, and just kind of guessing where it's going to go. But essentially pretty crazy that I made the money that was lost back after two margin calls on both of them. So like, started off bad, made it back, lost it again, made it back. So it's really just weird narrowing it down to two like small catastrophic in a way losses, and just not letting those manifest, because the rest of the trades were good in all honesty. So really just want to focus on that going forward and making sure that I'm not doing the flip-flop or anything else crazy, and just staying out of those, super bad impulsive habits, which really is what's been getting me this whole time in all honesty. It really hasn't been anything else, so just have to keep grinding at it and see. And if you guys have any video suggestions about anything, I will more than happily talk about it. I have no preference, so whatever anyone's feeling, I'm more than happy to ask. I will gladly make a video on it if I can.